welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this episode in the Running Contact series, I want to talk to you about rear crosses off the dog walk. Now, by this I mean we're going to be the wrong side of the dog walk in terms of the way we want the dog to turn. Instead of asking the dog to turn with us, we want them to turn away from us. So, as I am now, if I ask my dog to turn right, I'm with them, so I can help them with my body. But if I was that side, because for some reason I got stuck that side, and it does happen, then I need them to turn away from me. This is very much like how we were teaching our rights and lefts previously. However, there's a caveat here. I would fully anticipate that if you've been teaching your dog's rights and lefts with your body motion, that though your dog looks like they know right and left, they are probably actually using your body to tell them which way to go. So what we then have to do is we actually have to teach them independently how to understand their cues, or we have to be able to show them with our arms. So the quick get out of trouble way is to have an arm gesture that means rear cross. So in that instance, for that jump, I'd be this side of you. Hang on, Swift, can you stay there a second? And as I'm coming, instead of pushing my drive arm, I'd use my off arm to her, so it's wrong side of me off arm, to cue a rear cross and to say I'm going that way. And I can even use my body language to say we're going that way. In an ideal world, we would have our right and left cues perfectly done so the dog just has to hear them and knows what it's doing. Now, that is a whole different ball game, directionals, teaching those. So we're not going to go into that in this video. We're going to look at this mainly on the basis A, you've got directional cues, and B, that we can use our body to help our dog. So looking at our setup, I've gone back to having this wing here. Now we've taught some nice turns, obviously with that wing, but I've got that there just to take a bit of pressure both off the dog and myself. She hasn't got to think too hard about her position, because she's got to go around that wing. So that means she can concentrate on doing what I'm asking her in the terms of the rear cross. Also means I don't have to think so hard about that contact. I can concentrate on what she's doing over there, and I can really think about my handling if necessary. So to start with this, I'm going to give them the right cue, which for this is, because of the way I've positioned the jump, it's a little bit vague, but it's a rai cue, because we're turning right off a contact. Okay, ready? Rai. Yes, good girl. So I just want her to know where we're going from a position of confidence. Now, if you've never taught your dog to rear cross at all, don't attempt this from the dog walk, because you're going to get nowhere. You need to be taught this separately. So this time, I want her to go over there. I'm going to step ahead of her a little bit so I can shape this a little bit with my arm. And this is what you're doing if your directionals are not as strong as you would like. Okay. Rai. Yes. And I could see a little bit not sure there. We actually haven't done these. Good girl. Good girl. So my body line helped the understanding there. And again, I'm starting low down. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about. Though to be fair, because I've got that jump there, I'm not so worried about the wing. I just need to make sure that I can be a little bit ahead to govern this. Okay, Rai, nice! So you see, now she's figured out what we want. Good girl, catch. We can start moving it along. And she was much more confident that time. As I said, it takes away the pressure off both of us by having that wing there. I can concentrate on this bit, and obviously as she gets more confident, then I'll start moving this away. Once I know she'll take that rear cross, I can move this away so I can then concentrate on making sure she gets the dog walk contact. While I'm not sure she's going to do that, I need to concentrate on that jump and my body position. Okay, ready? I'm going to be a bit further back this time. Rai. Yes. Good girl. Now, I'm saying Rai and just letting her take the jump. Theoretically, I could have to need another manoeuvre on that jump. Rai actually just means come down the dog walk and turn right. As we discussed before, there are 3 types of right. The very tight right, and then the tightest right, and this one. This is the one I expect to see most often. So this is why I'm using my Rai cue there. But what I could also tell her is I could say, right, and I could tell her that I want that jump. If I thought for any reason she might question whether she needs to drive out to that jump, I could then tell her jump or go. Okay, ready? Right, jump! Good girl. Just to make absolutely sure she's going to get that jump. Good girl. Now, once you're getting these, you obviously can work back, you can work from the side, we can work back to get the distance you need. Rear crosses are very handy to have after the dog walk if you've gotten stuck somewhere, but they are something like your other turns. They're going to take a bit of proofing to get this contact correct, and it might be something you have to go back to, bring the wing back in and keep going, playing with it. I don't think there's any harm, even with a dog that knows this, to occasionally put that wing in to reinforce the behaviour. And obviously if you see the behaviour slipping, then you need to go back and reinforce that. You run down and do this. It's all about building up muscle memory and getting it so that the dog doesn't even have to think about it. They just get on with what they're doing. They run down and turn. So we need to reinforce that. It's the same with the other turns. So I hope that's all made sense, and you can see, obviously that I used my arm to help her move along. If we're doing this pure distance handling, ideally she would just turn on the cue, and I suspect now she's done that a few times, if I just asked her to turn on a Rai, she would. Shall we try that? See. If she does this, in no way, shape or form do I actually think she understands that directional perfectly, and I would not expect it. I know she's patterned this and it's giving her the confidence to what she does. This is just part of the learning process. The trouble is people think, dog does it, oh, brilliant, they know that. They'll do that in competition. It's not that. They've patterned it, they're so good at patterning things to go, well, that's what she wants. And the word becomes meaningless. So we have to do far more than that to proof your directionals. But what I'm saying is, I think she'll probably do it. Well, we'll see. Okay, ready? Right, jump. Yes. Thought I was going to land your head. You see, she did it, but I know as much as anything that's because she'd patterned it. Good cow. That was a terrible catch, look. So I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video. And if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you click the bell icon and you'll get notifications of new videos coming out. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.